Hey everyone, Big Pauly back for another video. Guess what? It's time for a movie night. That's right, I'm going to stick on Beyond Skyline and see if it's any good. Now I happen to like the first film and I've got that on Steelbook, so I'm just going to flip it in the player and I'll let you know what it's like. Okay, so it's so difficult to do this one-handed. There we go, one disc, Beyond Skyline. And now I've got two hands full and I can't open the player. We do it that way. Open she comes. In we go. Fantastic. And I've got my bits, so where are we? So I've got my skinny popcorn. Lovely, lovely. He says, banging it down. And I got me Diet Coke. So all the equipment's all fired up. Projectors projecting. Hey, so we're ready to go. Screens up and pictures ready to go. Start munching popcorn and I'll let you know when I finish the film what I think. See you in about 2 hours.
2 hours later.
Right, so what can I say about Beyond Skyline? God, look at the way the light catches that. That's really good. So, was it better than the original? Yes, it was. I was actually really pleasantly surprised how good this film really is, actually, deep down. And I had more fun during this film, and I thought it was better constructed than the last Independence Day movie. What was it called? Resurrection or Arsabumtion or whatever. I can't remember what it was called. Although it was alright, but this was really good. Basically, it starts out with Frank Grillo's character, his character's name is Mark, and he's a Los Angeles police officer, goes to pick up his son in Los Angeles Police Department. And on the way back, they have to hop on the subway, and all shit breaks loose. Basically, the train kind of like crashes and buckles up and down and all that. And in an attempt to move along the tracks and try and get up to top level, we get that familiar bright light blue that comes down that we remember from the first film. And it takes a few people up. It's the familiar sight. All the faces come over with all the black stuff. Their eyes all go black. And they just get sucked up right up into the spaceship. So very, very reminiscent of the first film. They meet a couple of characters along the way, including Antonio Vargas, Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch, who plays a blind veteran. And he's kind of a bit of a comic relief in the movie. And unfortunately, they all get sucked up into this ship. Lots of fighting up there. It's the exact same design as we saw at the end of the first film. And basically, they're with their big claws, they're coming down, taking people's heads off and sucking their brains up, as you do. Some good action scenes. He discovers a pregnant woman. Who he helps pop one out. So this all a matter of saving the baby. Takes a little different turn later on because they manage to crash the ship. And they crash it in the Mekong. So instead of like all the LA invasion and all that kind of thing, it kind of like turns into Rambo or Tropic Thunder in the jungle, where he meets this group of like rebel mercenaries. They've got this underground complex where all the survivors are. One thing goes to another. The girl that they took, the baby, keeps growing and growing, and she's kind of like half human and half alien. They want to try and use her to kind of infect the ship like a virus, so that they can try and save everybody else that's up there. Yeah, and the aliens come down and start invading this bunker under the ground, this all these caverns, and we get kind of like a one-on-one kick-ass moment. So some of the scenes are reminiscent of like Transformers when you get, because it's very similar in a way to Independence Day, because these alien creatures that are probably about 10 feet tall actually are housed in these giant kind of like fighting machines, but they're not actually machines, they are organic. So you know, like the alien from Independence Day was actually housed inside another shell, that kind of thing. And they basically kick each other's asses, so there's like a one-on-one fight, and the special effects are actually pretty good. A little bit ropey at the end. You kind of get a feel of it's a little bit dodgy CGI, but on the most part the special effects are pretty good, especially at the beginning with the spaceship. And I kind of feel this is not a sequel and this is not a prequel. I think this is happening exact same time as the original film. So whereas what was happening in the original film with all the hotel complex and that kind of thing, this is happening at a different part, so a different part of LA, and then out in the Mekong. So it's side by side. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Hand-to-hand combat, some good fight scenes. As I say, special effects are pretty good. The music's quite good as well, so I was quite impressed with the music. The acting is okay. It's pretty good. With Frank Grillo does the best acting. The acting's pretty good from the supporting cast as well. Sometimes it's hard to make out a little bit of the dialogue, because the music seems to be a little bit louder than some of the dialogue, especially up in the ship. But yeah, I would say it's a very enjoyable movie. Better than the first film, even though I liked the first film. So if you want something that's along the lines of the last Independence Day movie, but better, never thought I would say that Beyond SKYLINE was better than the last Independence Day movie. But the last Independence Day wasn't brilliant, was it? I think the saving grace was probably Jeff Goldblum, but it's a shame because it may have been a different movie if Will Smith had been in it. But anyway, that's my little review of Beyond SKYLINE. They kind of left it open at the end to maybe do a third film, which will be kind of like a space battle or a journey, you know, to maybe wherever they came from. I would recommend to watch it if you haven't seen it and you quite like the first film. So hope you enjoyed this little cinema. I was going to say cinema trip, but I haven't fucking left the house. Anyway, give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.